The third step of the business continuity process, after the initial two steps of setting the project scope and performing the business impact assessment, is to start planning for business continuity. There are several steps involved in this phase that include developing a strategy, preparing provisions, obtaining plan approval, implementing the plan, and performing related training. The BC team should use the information gathered from the impact assessment to develop a strategy that addresses the identified risks based on their prioritization scheme. The required processes and provisions should be identified in the strategy, while determining which risks will be mitigated, and which will be accepted. The objective should be to reach a level of risk that the organization accepts, taking into consideration the available capabilities and resources. The risks that will be mitigated should be selected, and the required resources identified. The second step, called provisions and processes, is an essential task in the business continuity process, as it is concerned with designing the specific countermeasures to mitigate the risks. The first type of assets that needs protection is the people, where the personnel's safety should be ensured when a disaster occurs, and these include the employees, the customers, the suppliers, or any other people that happen to be on the premises. Beyond this goal, the staff's ability to still perform their operational tasks should be facilitated, such as providing them with shelter and food, and clear instructions on how to behave in case a disaster strikes. The second type of assets to protect is the facilities, such as operations centers, warehouses, offices, and others. These facilities should be either hardened against relevant disasters, or alternative sites should be made available. The third type to protect is the infrastructure, such as the IT networks, the servers, and the information systems. Similar to the facilities, this type can either be hardened or redundant systems can be put in place. The third step is to get the top management approval on the continuity plan. If members of the top management were already involved in the earlier phases of the BC process, then the approval should not be lengthy or complicated. However, if no senior managers were involved, then the BC team will have to present their case in a way that would ensure their top management buy-in. Once approval is obtained, the plan should be implemented, with a clear schedule and within the available resources constraints. After implementation, maintenance of the provisions and monitoring of the processes should be performed. An important final step is to conduct adequate training of the involved personnel, who should fully understand their responsibilities, and who should be capable of performing their assigned tasks. The BC team members should be given appropriate training, and their skills should be evaluated. Backup members for each BC task should be trained, to ensure that they can step in if needed.